Hi everybody, and welcome to week 6 of the English 1101 for this spring 2016 semester. Alright, so as I post this video on Monday, today is the due date for the final drafts of the narrative essays. So try and get those turned in by 11:59 tonight, and I'll start grading those sometime later this week. That means that we're about to transition into our second essay. And I know it seems like a quick turnaround, but that's the nature of a class where you have to write 4 essays in a shortened, 16-week time period. Is that as soon as you're almost done with one essay, bam, here comes the next one. And this time it's going to be the compare-contrast essay. And like I did with the narrative, I'm going to actually post a video separate from this one that'll probably take about 20 or 30 minutes to explain what I want on this compare-contrast essay, and to explain how to use this CQ researcher, because that's what you're going to use in the compare-contrast. So it's not really a research paper, but the CQ researcher can help you understand both sides of an argument. And again, we're going to go ahead and make a separate video for that one. You also have 2 readings that have professional authors that do compare-contrast. One of those is Howard Zinn, who wrote about what he learned in high school and college about the American Revolution, and then what he's learned since then that is a little bit different than the cleaned up, happy, joy version that we sometimes get in our school systems these days. So the reason I include that particular essay is because if you look on the compare-contrast slideshow, you're going to see that there are 2 methods for compare-contrast. What Zinn does is he does a point-by-point. And so essentially he talks about one point which says that everybody in America wanted to break free from England, and then he says, but, once you look at it more closely, it was only the rich people that wanted to break free from England. The poor people couldn't have cared less whether they had a king or a president or a duke or whatever. So that would be point 1. Then point 2 would be the next point, and then point 3. What he learned and what the reality is. What he learned and what the reality is. So that's the point-by-point method, and that's what Howard Zinn gives us. He also gives us an eye-opening look at perhaps the American Revolution didn't benefit everybody the way that we were taught in high school. For example, slaves still didn't get their freedom after the colonists broke free. In fact, actually, things might have gotten worse for the slaves after the colonists broke free and started their new nation, at least up until the point of the Civil War. So that's the Howard Zinn one. Then you got Mark Twain's, or is it Samuel Clemens? Well, he wrote it as Samuel Clemens, but Samuel Clemens is Mark Twain. And that is 2 ways of viewing the river. This is what we call the block format. So if you look in the PowerPoint slideshow, you'll see the block format. What he does in this is Twain talks about how he had loved the Mississippi River as a kid, and he wanted nothing more than to be a steamboat captain. So by the time he was 21, he was captaining steamboats, which was highly unusual for somebody that young to actually captain a steamboat. But he apparently was very good at it and worked his way up the ranks very quickly. Then he talks about those same features of the river and how a steamboat captain would look at them. So as a boy, he looked at all these things with wonder, whereas as a steamboat captain, they are now tools to help him navigate the river. And it's not so wondrous anymore. Now it's something to help him from beaching a boat. So take a look at those. I will have reading quizzes on those that I will post probably tomorrow. Remember, today your priority is to get those narratives done and turned in. So tomorrow I should have all the compare-contrast stuff up and running for you so that you can start on that assignment. And we'll do it the same way. We won't do it the same way. We won't have peer review on this one. On this one, I will be the only one to give you the comments. So the peer review, I hope, was helpful to you in the narrative, and it's a good skill to have. But at the same time, I don't want you to have to read everybody's work all semester long. I know that you've got other classes, and I know that many of you have jobs and families and things like that. So we'll just concentrate. And these essays that we're going to start writing are going to take more effort than the narrative also. So that's another reason why the peer review won't be done this time. Now, if you made friends during the peer review and you want to secretly email each other and give each other input, then by all means do. I think that peer review is a great thing in that. But it's not going to be required this time the way it was for the narrative. All right, so that's it. that's our video for this week. And I hope that you're ready to talk about